Congratulations, you're a new parent. Get ready for a wild, wonderful, and sometimes exhausting ride. One of the biggest questions you'll face is, when should I feed my baby? You hear it everywhere, from well-meaning relatives to the internet. Don't worry, there's no need to pull out a stopwatch or stick to a rigid schedule. Newborns are still figuring out this whole life outside the womb thing. Their tiny tummies can't hold much milk at once. This means they need to eat frequently, sometimes as often as every 2 to 3 hours. It can feel like a never-ending cycle of feeding, burping, and diaper changes. But here's the good news, you are your baby's expert. You'll learn to read their cues and understand their individual needs. Trust your instincts and don't be afraid to ask for help. We're here to guide you through the wonderful world of feeding your newborn. Remember, every baby is unique. What works for one may not work for another. The key is to find a rhythm that suits both you and your little one. Get ready to embark on this incredible journey of nourishment and bonding. Babies are amazing little communicators even before they can talk. They have their own language of cries, coos, and movements to tell you what they need. Learning to interpret these cues is like cracking a secret code. One of the first things you'll want to master is recognizing hunger cues. These are your baby's way of saying, "Hey, I'm hungry, time to eat." But here's the catch. Babies can cry for a lot of reasons, not just hunger. They might be tired, need a diaper change, or simply crave a cuddle. So, how do you tell the difference? Look for these telltale signs of hunger: rooting, turning their head and opening their mouth searching for a nipple, sucking on their hands or fingers, sticking out their tongue and making smacking or sucking noises. If you see these cues, it's a good bet your little one is ready for a feed. As you become more attuned to your baby's cries, you'll notice subtle signs that indicate hunger. These signs often appear before your baby resorts to full-blown crying. Recognizing these early cues can help you establish a smoother feeding routine. One such sign is increased alertness and activity. Your baby might start moving their arms and legs more or seem more interested in their surroundings. This is their way of signaling they have some energy and are ready to eat. Another subtle cue is the early sucking reflex. You might notice your baby making sucking motions with their mouth, even without anything in it. This is their body's way of preparing for a feed. Pay close attention to your baby's hands. When hungry, babies often bring their hands to their mouth, sucking on their fingers or fist. This is an instinctive behavior that provides comfort and stimulation while they wait to be fed. Remember, every baby is unique, and their hunger cues may vary. By observing your baby closely and responding to their individual needs, you'll become fluent in their language of hunger. Forget rigid schedules and strict timelines. When it comes to feeding your newborn, on-demand feeding is the way to go. This means feeding your baby whenever they show signs of hunger, rather than sticking to a predetermined clock. Think of it like this. You wouldn't ignore your own hunger pangs, would you? Babies are no different. They have tiny tummies and growing bodies that need frequent nourishment. Feeding on demand has a host of benefits for both you and your baby. It helps regulate your baby's blood sugar, promotes weight gain, and strengthens the bond between you. Now you might be thinking, but what about overfeeding? Don't worry, it's actually quite difficult to overfeed a breastfed baby. Babies are incredibly good at self-regulating and will stop feeding when they're full. Feeding on demand allows you to respond to your baby's individual needs. It fosters a sense of trust and security, knowing that their needs will be met promptly and lovingly. Section 5. The art of burping, a crucial step in feeding. Burping might seem like a simple task, but it plays a vital role in your baby's comfort and digestion. When babies feed, they often swallow air along with their milk. This trapped air can cause discomfort, gas, and even spitting up. Think of burping as a way to release the pressure and help your baby's tummy settle. It's especially important after each feeding, whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding. There are a few different positions you can try for burping over the shoulder, sitting up and lying face down. Experiment to see what works best for your baby. Gently pat or rub your baby's back to encourage the air bubbles to rise. Don't be afraid to give it a little oomph, but avoid patting too hard. If your baby doesn't burp after a few minutes, don't worry. Some babies are just naturally good at releasing air on their own. However, if your baby seems uncomfortable or gassy, try burping them again later. Section 6. Navigating the night shift. Feeding your baby after dark. Nighttime feedings. The ultimate test of patience and endurance for new parents. While it might feel like your nights are now an endless cycle of feeding and diaper changes, There are ways to make the experience more manageable. First things first, remember that nighttime feedings are crucial for your baby's growth and development. Their tiny tummies need frequent refueling, even during the night. To minimize disruptions to your sleep, create a calm and soothing bedtime routine. This might include a warm bath, a gentle massage, and some quiet time together. Keep the lights dim during nighttime feedings to avoid overstimulating your baby. Use a nightlight or a dim lamp to see what you're doing without disrupting your baby's sleep cycle. If you're breastfeeding, consider bringing your baby into bed with you for easier access and a more restful experience. However, make sure to follow safe sleep guidelines and create a safe sleep environment for your little one. Section 7. When to call for backup. Recognizing feeding challenges. While most babies take to feeding like ducks to water, some might encounter a few bumps along the way. As a parent, it's important to be aware of potential feeding challenges and know when to seek professional help. If you're breastfeeding, you might experience sore nipples, engorgement, or mastitis. These are common issues that can be addressed with the help of a lactation consultant. For bottle-fed babies, spitting up gas and fussiness after feeding could indicate a milk protein allergy or intolerance. Consult your pediatrician if you suspect your baby might have an allergy. Don't hesitate to reach out to your pediatrician or healthcare provider if you notice any of the following: poor weight gain, dehydration, fewer wet diapers than usual, excessive spitting up or vomiting, blood in the stool, or persistent feeding difficulties. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Your healthcare provider is there to support you and address any concerns you might have. Section 8. You've got this. Embracing the journey of parenthood. Parenthood is a wild ride, full of ups and downs, joys and challenges. Feeding your newborn is just one small part of this incredible journey. Remember to be patient with yourself and your baby as you navigate the world of feeding. There will be times when you feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and maybe even a little bit crazy. It's okay to ask for help, whether it's from your partner, family, friends, or a professional. Celebrate the small victories like a successful latch or a peaceful feeding session. Embrace the messy moments, the spit-up stains, and the sleepless nights. These are all part of the beautiful chaos of parenthood. Remember, you are your baby's expert. Trust your instincts, follow your baby's cues, and don't be afraid to seek guidance when needed. You've got this. Section 9. Feeding your baby. Trust your instincts and seek support. As we've explored throughout this guide, feeding your newborn is a journey of love, learning, and adaptation. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, and what works for one baby may not work for another. The most important thing is to trust your instincts and respond to your baby's individual needs. Pay attention to their hunger cues, experiment with different feeding positions, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Surround yourself with a supportive network of family, friends, and healthcare professionals who can offer guidance and encouragement. Feeding your baby is more than just providing nourishment. It's a time for bonding, for nurturing, and for creating a deep and lasting connection with your little one. Embrace the journey, cherish the moments, and remember that you're doing an amazing job. If you found this guide helpful, please share it with other new parents who might benefit from this information. For more resources and support, visit website or organization related to newborn care and feeding.